Capítulo 18. Proscritos.
Dear Francis, the letters I have written to you over the years surely could be bound into a book. One of our young novices once asked me why I write to you when you are dead. The young can be blunt, but the thing is, I think you are still alive. One day, I hope, I will find you, and then you will read these letters. And when you do, you will know that I was busy writing a book. Because of my book, I may have to talk to Bishop Henry. But that is not the only thing that keeps me awake tonight.
Escribir sobre el arco de la cripta, escribir sobre el libro, escribir sobre Kingsbridge.
Behind a wall in our crypt, Jack discovered a hidden room. We do not know who built it, but it is likely that Prior James hid there, even after he was said to have drowned. That means he was alive when we met in Kingsbridge on New Year's Day, the day of his burial. And Jack told me he saw a man in the church the night it burned down. Was that him? And if so, did he burn in the fire that night?
¿Sabes que fue Jack?
The dust storm and the drought are taking their toll on all of us. Thanks to our town wall, we are safe from the Earl and the outlaws. We've heard of places nearby being raided. We believe the attackers were William Hamley's men. We have enough food to last us another few weeks.
Eso no es mucho.
But life has come to a halt. Martha believes there will be rain soon. But the storm is only a harbinger of rain. I hope that she is right.
Pues sé que cunde ese papel, ¿no?
Jonathan worries about my book. The Divine Soul. In Winchester, he heard that Bishop Henry was less than pleased by what I had written. I am not naive enough to pretend I do not know why. I wrote that hope is godly. And since God made each of us, hope and salvation are only to be found within ourselves. Henry sells hope, and I am giving it away for free. If the church should ask me to clarify my position, of course I shall do so. But I feel I must give our people what they need in these desperate times. And how could I write anything else if this is what I truly believe?
Poner fin a la carta.
It must be well after midnight. With you, I can be honest about what truly troubles me. Jack told me that he was responsible for the fire in Kingsbridge. I know that it was a long time ago. He told me he set fire to the roof so there would be work for his father, Tom.
My God. Save yourselves!
¿Melius?
The saint! We must save the saint! Fire! The whole roof is in flames!
My God!
Don't go in there! Adolphus! The saint! We must save him! No! No! Don't go!
And as horrible as it may sound, I cannot find it in my heart just now to forgive Jack. Maybe because this confession comes too late.
Más vale tarde que
And
nunca.
from a man who I have learned to trust. This is the truth.
Pero era pequeño, no tenía dónde ir, necesitaba trabajo urgentemente para vivir.
I should get some air, Francis. The storm has settled down.
Eso es nuevo, la tormenta amaina. Notas, tomé notas para las misas. Catedral, Jack sigue trabajando, quizá tampoco pueda dormir.
A magnificent cathedral.
Desde luego.
I would have been more than content with the old one, had it not been burned to the ground.
Sepulturas, aquí yacen a la espera. Estimados amigos que me precedieron. Tía, pues... es bien enorme.
I thought I saw someone.
Y a mí también. Mira, mira. Por ahí corre gente.
That came from the kitchen.
Ten cuidado, Philip. Ten cuidado. ¿Nos están robando?
Oh, it's you.
You startled me.
I thought I heard something. Was that you?
No, but I heard it too. Maybe Aliena came back.
No. No, she's asleep. She returned a few hours ago. Damn it.
Jack.
Sorry. There's someone in the kitchen.
Yes, I think you're right.
Stay behind me. I'll go ahead.
Eso, tú tienes un martillo y un cincel. What the fuck?
There's someone in here.
No me digas. Enciende una vela.
Outlaws.
Hola.
They are probably just after food. I will talk to them.
All right.
¿Por qué susurran? No se ven. Proscritos. Se ven obligados a robar.
Please. Listen.
¡Ojo!
We don't mean you harm.
Philip, be careful! Damn it! Philip, throw me a stone.
¡Oh! ¡Shit! ¡Oh! 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 ¡Oh, Dios! ¡Oh, Dios! ¡Qué mala! ¡Ojo!
Jack, no.
Bueno, es una piedra tampoco. ¿Quién? ¿Es él?
Brother Marcus.
¿What?
Brother Marcus.
He took Cuthbert's keys to steal food here from the kitchen. Because of me, Remigius found out.
Ostras, vale, tengo una leve idea, sí.
Never saw him again.
Looks like he came back.
Bueno, pero no está muerto. Solo inconsciente. Espero.
You didn't.
Logro desbloqueado, hermano Marcus.
No, but
What about him?
don't be afraid.
¡Hostias!
Why did you do that, you animal? I will get the others.
No!
What?
He's just a child.
Just a child. Jack forgave the child, just like that. And I forgave him. for that was what he had been when he arrived in Kingsbridge. Just a child. Who was I to judge this man for not confessing earlier what he had done? I had never told his wife, Aliena, that I was responsible for her fate, and for her father's. Even that night, when we all met, I did not dare to tell her.
The walls of Kingsbridge weren't enough anymore. The outlaws had found a way in. We weren't safe in our homes.
So this is what it has come to. Kingsbridge is under attack.
Why didn't Uncle Richard chase them away?
Why?
Now, do not exaggerate. This is not a siege.
We only saw 2 of them, and one of them was a child.
But they almost killed you.
Philip, culpar a la sequía, culpar a William, calmar los ánimos, culpar a la política, culpar a la sequía.
These poor souls were starving. Many are forced to turn to thievery because of the drought.
A true Earl's duty should be to protect his people.
Yes, that would be nice. Let's ask William Hamley for help, shall we?
It is all too easy to blame a desperate child. Forgiveness is much harder.
It is.
But forgive we must.
Can you? Forgive, I mean.
I already have.
Hamley is the reason for this. He's to blame. It's that simple.
Well, he won't be Earl for long. The Treaty of Wallingford has been signed at last. It's only a matter of time until things change.
What treaty? Winchester is in turmoil about this right now. Stephen and Maud have signed the treaty. Maud's son, Duke Henry, is to be crowned the next king.
And, by agreement, all lands are to be returned to their previous owners.
But Stephen will continue to rule as long as he lives.
The earldom will be ours again.
It will not.
Why the bloody hell not?
Bloody hell.
Language?
No one will enforce this until Stephen is dead.
What is to be done then?
¿No se les estará ocurriendo defender a los proscritos, dar comida a los proscritos, apelar al nuevo rey?
We have to stay strong, steadfast. We only have to wait until Hamley is stripped of power, right?
That would take too long. Many more will starve or die by his sword.
Well, if they're hungry, can't we just give them something to eat? I'll share.
We should, and we will. But there are too many to feed them all.
We must do something.
Well, I cannot sit quietly and wait until Stephen dies of old age.
¿Y qué quieres hacer? ¿Matar a Esteban?
The Treaty of Wallingford is in place. I won't wait for another 17 years. Not when I'm so close to fulfilling the promise I made to my father.
You're right, but it wasn't William Hamley who came here last night. It's the outlaws we need to worry about.
Well, what do we do about it?
Defender a los proscritos, enfrentar a los proscritos y a William, mostrar compasión, fortificar Kingsbridge.
They too are victims. We must show compassion. If we defend Kingsbridge, we must cause as little harm as possible. Or better, help as many as possible.
Things will only get worse if we don't find a way to deal with Hamley.
What about his mother? I've heard that Hamley still listens to her, that she still has a say in Earl's Castle.
Yes, let's tell his mother.
If we spoke to Regan Hamley, we might not need a physical confrontation at all.
Pero esta mujer está
Never work.
consciente.
We have to assault them and take back our father's castle.
Qué
Even if
poco
that means
diplomático,
fighting
Richard.
alongside the outlaws.
I don't like either choice, to be honest.
Neither do I. So, What do you think, Aliena?
Negociaré con Regan Hamlet, hablaré con los proscritos. Ay, no me gusta ninguna de las dos opciones. Pero si tenemos a los proscritos de nuestro lado, quizás es más fácil un ataque, porque se unan en armas. En cambio, negociar con la madre de William... Pues fíjate, prefiero a los proscritos, la verdad, sinceramente.
I will talk to the outlaws. Maybe we can find someone who can speak on their behalf. And if there's no one, then we will.
I'll ride with you.
You won't, Cub. Not with that leg of yours.
Your mother is right. Besides, if we all turn up, they might think we mean them harm.
Vale, supongo que vivirán en el bosque. Vale, partir rumbo al sur.
Our hopes of meeting allies on the road to Shiring were fading with every mile. The only people we saw were sitting by the side of the road, broken and starving. Shiring was riddled with death and despair. I'd heard that Wiggly had just been raided by outlaws, leaving them almost entirely without cattle. Maybe someone there knew where the raiders had come from. But Calford, on the other hand, had a recent falling out with William Hamley. There was a chance that they would be quick to join our resistance.
Eso me gusta. Entonces me da a escoger o al Calford a buscar aliados o preguntar por los saqueadores. Busca aliados.
We entered the village. There was a weary young man trying to repair a roof. He pointed toward a ruined mill. Hamley's mill, he called it, which used to have the right to grind all grain from the nearby villages. That was until a few days ago. Hamley had come to collect his share and, due to the famine, was met with empty coffers. Enraged, he'd killed the miller and had taken every last bag of flour belonging to the starving people of Calford. Many had fled into the forest, desperate for their lives.
Ah, mira, tenemos aquí la opción de marchar a Handling, ir a Shiring o preguntar por los saqueadores. Vamos a preguntar por los saqueadores también, ya que estamos.
As we reached Wiggly, we met a farmer tending to a scrawny chicken. She told us that Hamley had claimed ownership of all their cattle. Shortly after that, the cattle vanished. Raiders had taken it, throwing William Hamley into a fit of rage.
Vale, o sea que al menos William no tiene el ganado. Los habrán llevado al bosque.
Recognized the thieves, neighbors who had once lived among them. They were long believed to be among the dead. Would we...
Uy, va, perdón, pensaba que ya había terminado. Bueno, vamos a Handling. Vamos a deshacer todo el camino otra vez. Pero nadie dijo que fuese un camino sencillo, ni rápido.
The fields of Huntley spurred fond memories. Here I'd negotiated my first deal to transport and sell the farmer's wool. Now the meadows had turned to straw and the sheep were dead. Soon we reached Uncle Simon's abandoned hut. Our horses needed rest, so we wanted to leave them there while we looked around on foot. Then I remembered how Richard had been kicked by the man William had paid to catch us, and the horrible sounds he'd made lying there. Inside the hut, I was startled by a hunched figure hiding in a corner, nibbling on a lump of bread. Upon seeing us, the creature's eyes widened, like those of a frightened animal. I asked him where he got bread in times like these. Was it stolen? No, I got it from the butcher. The people at Sally's quarry told me to ask the butcher, he blurted out, startled by his own voice. Mistaking our interest for greed, he wolfed down the rest of the bread. Before we could ask more, the frightened man jumped up and fled into the forest. The butcher. Was he the one we were looking for? A leader whom the downtrodden trusted and feared. Maybe we could find him at the quarry the man had mentioned.
Pues vamos a visitarlo. A la cantera. Espero que nadie nos ataque por el camino. Sería muy mítico eso.
The abandoned quarry was teeming with activity. Many poor souls were gathering around a fireplace, boiling a stew from meat and turnips. It was plain to see that these people weren't held together by blood or profession, but by hunger and desperation. And by their numbers, I thought, that could make them quite dangerous. Were these outlaws?
Aproximarse con cuidado, observar de lejos. Primero observa.
The outlaws were using a moss-covered cave and little huts as shelter. Through the cave entrance, we could see stacked crates of goods, most likely stolen. The outlaws were of varying ages and seemed almost peaceful in their little haven. Suddenly, we were startled by a shout. "Who are you?" a boy demanded with anger in his eyes.
Solo venimos a observar, que buscar aliados para matar a William.
All eyes darted towards us. Their reactions were as varied as their faces. Some looked afraid, curious, and confused. Others were full of hatred and contempt. "We're not here to hurt you," I explained. "We just want to talk." "Where can I find the butcher?" I asked. Their faces expressed anger and fear. I explained that we were looking for food. They told us that the butcher was still in Monksfield, but that meat would come every couple of days. I said that wouldn't be a problem, not knowing what they meant. It looked like our path would lead us back to Monksfield.
Bien, pues en busca del matarife, tío. Si voy a Shiring, ¿qué pasa? ¿Acabo ya el recorrido por las tierras? Vamos a buscar a este señor. Parece que Richard no hace mucho, ¿eh? ¡Hombre! ¡Otra vez aquí! Campesinos. No será... ¿No estaba aquí el otro día? Pregúntale a este.
Thank you for giving me and my friend shelter the other day.
Weather's fine now, so what do you want this time?
Preguntar por la carne, preguntar por el matarife. Ve directo al grano, hija mía.
We're looking for the butcher.
The butcher of Monksfield has long since moved away.
Damn, I can't believe it.
No need for cursing, young man. If you bring me an animal, I can prepare it for you.
Gracias.
We'll call you the butcher then.
Why'd you ask? What do you want?
Do you have a lot of outlaws passing by?
You don't see it in their faces, dear. But we all have been failed by the law and our leaders. Don't you agree?
I asked because we feel the same way. And we're looking for a way to make things right again.
Is that so?
We're looking to build an army, to invade Earl's castle and kill Earl William Hamley.
Oh my. If it was that easy, someone would have done that a long time ago. The poor souls I meet, they're just simple people. They're not an army.
A veces no hace falta más que ser una simple persona. Animarla a liderarlos, ofrecerte a liderarlos. Está claro que la anciana... Tengo mis dudas.
We would lead them.
I'm a knight. I know how to turn ordinary men into fighters.
In their condition, most of them can barely kill a chicken, let alone a man. These people are mothers, fathers, hard workers, yes, but they are not soldiers.
We'd reward them if they helped us.
You must know we are the rightful heirs to Earl Bartholomew of Shiring, and would show ourselves very generous.
So,
You're just another pair of nobles who want to use us as pawns in their battle, to
Sí.
die for you.
It is the best chance we have. This is a battle for the sake of the people of Shiring, for all of us.
It's rubbish. It's what it is.
We are offering you a chance to rid the land of Hamley, to fight for your freedom.
The last time we saw you here, you were with that young woman. She was freezing, but you didn't care enough to help her. Why would you show more kindness towards a group of dirty and unfriendly bastards if you can't even care for a young, helpless girl?
But that was William's wife. It was good that she didn't pander to her.
Aye, suited her right.
My people seem to trust you. But why should they put their lives at risk? You are not like us.
Pues hombre.
Right.
Aye.
Sí. Recalca que fuiste
I
pobre.
know what it's like to live in poverty.
And just like you, we had William Hamley to thank for it.
But I also know that if one fights the right battles, that things can change for the better.
But they're starving, my child. They are weakened by poverty, hunger, and illness. Who are you to think you can face William Hamley?
Soy aliena de Kingsbridge.
Who do you think you are?
Mencionar que tu padre fue un conde justo, recalcar que sois los legítimos herederos.
We are the children of Bartholomew, Earl of Shiring.
Our father once ruled with a firm but benevolent hand. You must remember how good you had it.
Well, better than now, but that's easy.
He did have guts, though, trying to take on Stephen.
So, you are his daughter and son.
¡Te lo he dicho antes!
Yes, all we know we learned from him.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Yeah!
Even if we work together, Hamley is too powerful.
You ask us to sacrifice our lives for your noble cause, these people will die.
Mencionar el apoyo de Philip. Prometerles que no correrán peligro. No. Prometerles que el sacrificio será mutuo. ¿Y qué tiene que ver Philip? Ah, porque hablará con la iglesia. Mejor esta opción.
We too will make the same sacrifices. I only ask of you what I myself am willing to give. If anything happens to you, it will also happen to me.
You have noble principles, I see.
Yeah.
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 I said it before. We all have lost everything, except for our lives. We don't fight other people's battles.
But maybe this is our battle too.
My people will decide for themselves. But I will tell them that I believe that it is indeed a battle worth fighting.
I thank you.
I pray that it will be worth it.
We will all pray, and then we fight.
Yes. Logro desbloqueado. Vox Populi. ¡Maravilloso! Oye, pues están siendo muy cortitas estas últimas capítulos, ¿eh? El primero sí que fue muy largo, pero estos tres pues ya han sido más cortitos. Bueno, mis acciones. Los primeros proscritos han llegado a Kingsbridge. El hermano Marcus, antiguo novicio del priorato, era uno de los proscritos. Tienes una oportunidad de recuperar el castle y cumplir tu promesa. Has encontrado al líder de los proscritos. Has hecho varias promesas sobre la seguridad de los proscritos en caso de ataque. Los proscritos han aceptado luchar junto a ti. Maravilloso.